Hello everybody, welcome back to Sessions with Kat. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I have a reason. Okay. I had a couple events that I was doing, but I was also still kind of under the weather, dealing with a horrible allergy sinus bout that caused me to almost lose my voice, and it was just a really horrible cough, and then I had the sniffles, and it wasn't cute. And I didn't think you guys wanted to hear me sniffling and coughing on the videos, so I took a little break to make sure that I was good. And then also I had some personal stuff that I was dealing with. I am still navigating grief, and that's a thing. It's more or less just, merging all aspects of me, my business, and everything in between all together, and dealing with grief on top of that. So, shameless plug, but for those of you who do follow me here or subscribed here on YouTube, starting April 23rd at 2 p.m., I'm going live every week for 7 weeks, and we're gonna navigate grief together. And I want you guys to understand something. Grief doesn't have to mean that someone died. It could mean that you've changed job, or lost a friendship, like you parted ways with someone, or you ended a relationship. It just varies. So we're gonna talk a little bit about what's coming up in the 7-week kind of journey as we walk through this deck. This is the other deck to the one I'm sorry y'all, the last video. It's the same Theresa Hutch. This one is the Land Sky Oracle. I went through her latest deck in the previous video, and I told you guys I was going to show you this one. This one is based on the 8 limbs of yoga, which I absolutely love. And this is also a course that I teach on how to incorporate the 8 limbs into your daily life, right? And being able to walk more mindfully. So if you're interested in that class, it is a one-on-one class. So you have to express interest and sign up in order for me to teach it. But that's why I love this deck. I love the softness of it, but also love the directness of it. It's like softly direct. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but that's what this deck is. So we're gonna walk through this while I chit chat about what's coming up for the 7 weeks. And if you're interested, you can comment below. You should be commenting below because you love my channel. But remember to like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz, right? Remember to stay hydrated during this journey, because that's also something I'm working on, but I don't need you dehydrated either. So let's keep that in mind. And let's do this. I'm gonna do the zoomies in so you guys can see. And we're gonna talk about it. So the Navigating Grief series is gonna be a 7-week series in which we kind of go through the stages of grief as I've come to walk the stages of grief. Okay, now it might be different for some of you, it might be similar, right? Just FYI, there's no pictures in the book, right? So you just kind of have to go to whichever one and kind of go from there. So navigating grief is different for everybody. Okay, it's going to be different for everybody, but I'm kind of, in a way, generalizing the 7 steps, at least the first 7 steps that I have dealt with. I know there's stages of grief. I'm still in the first stages, like the beginning stages. Let me say that I'm in the beginning stages, if that makes sense. And with all the changes I've been going through, I might be here a minute if I don't get it together, right? These are all the goodies that came with the deck. It came inside the box. So this looks like it is. It's the 8 limbs and then you can place a card on each one of those, and then the back of this tells you what the 8 limbs mean and kind of how you should interpret it for yourself. But the first week I'm kind of excited about, because a lot of times we don't address that stage. These cards are not in order because I used them today to post on Instagram, so don't judge me. Don't come for me. Go for your mama, okay? But the first stage, and if you're going to take notes, this would be the time to take notes, because I am going to kind of briefly go over a few of the stages here. But the first stage is the one that I feel is the most important. It's kind of like shock and confusion. Sadness really doesn't hit until you kind of start moving along and doing things, at least from what I've gathered, but it's initial shock and confusion. And a lot of times, even if you go to I've been to a grief counselor and they didn't mention this, but that's what I first encountered. And a lot of times you might encounter that before the actual death takes place. So we're going to look at the stage just before grief, and then we're going to navigate through it. And like I said, it's going to be different for everybody, right? It's going to be highs and lows. We're going to, cry and boo-hoo. Or, if you don't show your emotions like that, that's fine too. But you guys get to see my lovely face up on the camera. And you guys get to ask questions. You guys get to, get answers. I might put a reading in there just, randomly. I might read y'all. I don't know. We'll see. But most people like their readings a little bit more private. So, and I'm not interested in a gallery reading. So I'm not just going to be reading based on names or whatnot. If you want an actual card pull, let me know. But we're going to discuss grief, and this is free, okay? You're not paying anything. I just want you to tune in and I want you to comment. I want you to engage, because I will be looking at the comment section as I am live, right? And bring your pen, pencil, paper, what have you, so that we can really learn from it, really grow from it. And that's what we're doing for 7 weeks, starting April 23rd at 2 p.m. April 23rd is a Sunday. It also happens to be my little brother's birthday. And on my little brother's birthday, I always put everything half off. All services, all products, everything becomes half off. And I donate half of what you pay for the service. So if you guys ever wonder, she probably pocket everything, I don't. I usually donate half of it, or I will pay whatever bills that I gotta pay, for business stuff, and then whatever's left over gets donated. It just depends on how things fall. This tiger, listen, I am here for the sass that is in that face. This is Victoria's breath. I'm here for it. I can feel every bit of it. So I hope you guys like these cards. I really do. I love them. I've had this deck for a number of years. I don't know how long, but I've had it. And it's a great meditation deck. This one, the El Camino Oracle, my Shaman's Oracles, because I have 2. And a couple other decks have been really helpful in helping me navigate grief. I still have moments where I am disassociating myself from my feelings, but they help me bring it back, I promise you, because I don't like being hit in the middle of the night with a meteor with crying spills and all that stuff. It's not fun. I'm just gonna put it out there. That shit's not fun. But that's what we're going to navigate over the 7-week period. And really, it's for me, but I also want it for you. So I'm not just going to tailor it to the death of a person. I'm going to tailor it to relationships, to finances, to spirituality, to health and wellness. And we're going to tie it all in, because that's kind of the goal. You want to feel whole. You want completeness. Is it completeness that word? No, that ain't the right word. You want your well-being intact. And to do that, you have to have a better understanding of navigating grief. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to apologize, because I should have did this in the beginning. If you hear any weird noises, my neighbors are being loud. I apologize, but I wanted to record. So here we are. Anyway, so that's kind of what this journey is going to be about. It's grief in of itself. And to give you guys updates on me, right? I post my update on my Facebook page, which most of you know. If I'm not friends with you on Facebook, you won't see that. But it was to give like my friends back in Michigan and even friends all over an update on how I'm doing. And I will be going through that with you guys on April 23rd, like really how I'm doing. You're gonna get raw. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty with it, right? And I pray that you guys take something from it. At least one of you take something from the journey. So that's gonna be the plan. So all that being said, how y'all doing? Please comment below how you're doing. I need to know. Why I need to know, I don't know, but I need to know. I need to know that y'all good, that y'all feeling good, you're staying hydrated, do you need a hug, right? Do you need some guidance? What? Like, let me know. I'm curious. So there's that. And then I know Spirit wants me to talk about something, and I'm trying to avoid it, but here we are, right? And we get to this card, and Spirit's like, bingo. So you guys see amethyst on this card. I'm hearing nourish the soul, and the word on this is nourish. I don't even have my glasses on, and I saw that word because how tiny it is. It is nourish. Okay, what are you doing to provide top-notch, top-tier nourishment to your mind, body, soul, spirit, what have you, right? Is the energy in your house being fed stress, or is it being fed love? Because that is also a type of nourishment, right? You don't want your house spirits pissed off at you, because that's a thing, right? How are you nourishing you and your family or your community? How are you providing nourishment? Are you just constantly deciding to live in stress? Are you deciding to live in love, to live in peace, to live in hope? How are you providing nourishment? Are you eating bullshit? Because that's a thing, right? Are we eating lies? Right? Because you'll always be hungry if you eat that, right? What are you doing? What are you taking in? And how is it nourishing the body, right? It's not enough to just drink water, folks. Some of you do need to drink water, but that's the thing. It's not just the food either, like physical food, like, oh, you're eating a burger and fry. Like, it's not just the food. It's every type of food that's presented to you. You don't always have to eat what's placed in front of you, right? So if someone serves you a plate, like, here's a nice burger. If you eat burgers, right, here's some fries, and make sure they're cooked to the right temperature. And then on the side, they're like, yeah, and here's some extra bullshit on the side. What are you eating off that plate? Are you eating the whole plate because you were raised in a household where they said you got to clean your plate? Or are you changing the narrative saying, I don't want shit on this plate because it's tainted by the bullshit that's sitting here. So like, why the fuck would I even eat it, right? Or are you saying, well, this part I'll take, but you keep the rest, right? Or you sending the order back to the kitchen like, y'all, that ain't what I ordered. I ordered burger and fries, no bullshit, right? What are you doing? What narrative are you following when it comes to proper nourishment, right? And it's not to say that you gotta like leave whatever you're doing or whatnot, or like if you're into the church, nobody's saying you need to leave the church or anything like that. I'm saying, are you eating everything that's being fed to you? And is it for your highest good? Right? Some lessons we don't need to learn because it wasn't for our highest good anyway, so we didn't actually need to touch it, right? We just was like, it's being fed to me, let me eat it. The lesson was, it's being fed to me, but I ain't gotta fucking eat it, right? That's like asking for, vodka on the top shelf, and they give you that little, what's that shit in the refrigerator part of the grocery store, and it's like watered down. They're giving you that, and you're like, yeah, and it's like, no, that ain't what you even asked for. You know it's not what you asked for, so why would you put it in your body, right? You asked for your steak medium rare, and they bought you well done. You gonna eat it, or you gonna send it back? Right? Because you asked for your piece of meat to be a little alive, right? You asked for it to be just a little pink. And they was like, nah, you can take this well done. No, it might taste like you chewing rubber, but you cool. Right? So what exactly are you nourishing your body with? What are you nourishing your body with? So Spirit is asking y'all that question. I want answers. Now, you might not have to answer it down in the comments if you don't want to, but I'm curious. But I'm curious. It's not to judge. And if somebody judge you, block their ass. I don't give a damn. I'll block them for you. But I really want you to take time to really walk through that question for yourself to know, are you providing yourself with proper nourishment? That might mean like you at the wrong job, right? It might mean that you taking the wrong class, that you bought something that ain't good for your body, and you ain't gonna find out till you actually like start using it. You never know. You never know. Good old malachite. I need to get some more of that. Side note, squirrel, right? But anyway, that's the question of the day. How are you properly nourishing your body, mind, and soul, and your spirit, right? Are you just eating just to be eating? Because that's the thing. Some people do that shit too. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to eat just to be eating. I want you to eat because it's nourishing, right? We're trying to create healthy patterns, not fucked up ones, if that makes sense, right? So that's the lesson of the day. And then comment below, which card is your favorite? I like this little otter. I like it. It's adorable. Speaking of which, I need to get my ass to the zoo so I can see the animals. It's been a minute, mainly because I was sick and whatnot, and they had events, but that's a thing. Spirit's pointing at this card. Okay, I don't know who needs it, but somebody need to clear their space. I know for me, I need to clear my space, and I will here shortly. But smudging is a good thing. Don't forget to smudge yourself, because you're part of the space. Okay? Don't forget to do that. And the mala beads. I have a set that looks similar to this. Nice. Well, it's a set that I made. And here we go with the snake. Now, y'all know me. I don't do snakes. Y'all know me. But this snake is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Vicious looking? scary looking, it's a softer type of approach to one. And I can actually handle it, right? But am I going to look at it for long? No. I'm going to tell you that right now. And that comes from a past life. That has nothing to do with my current life. That fear of snakes comes from a past life. I know it does. It's just sitting down and working through it. Well, I've worked a little bit through it because before I couldn't even look at a snake. You wouldn't even catch me doing it. They'd be like, oh, the snakes is in there. Go see the snakes. And I'd be like, nah, stand my black ass right here and y'all go see the snakes. And I'm going to be right here where it's safe, right? But now I can at least look at them and not like go into total freak out. So sometimes, you know, if you have a fear of something, it might simply be because it's from a past life or something you carried over from any lifetime, or it could have happened. Like some people are afraid to swim or get underwater, and that could happen because of like the birth canal and all of that. It just depends on the person, right? Really depends on the person. So these cards are seasoned. They're telling me to go to the middle. I'm going to the middle. And here's your card. Balanced life. Right? And that goes along with nourishment, right? That's the whole point of nourishment, is to help you have a balanced life. Nourishment comes not just from food, sustenance, it comes from the interactions you have with people, the places you entertain, right? It's a number of things. And that lovely little noise is the AC going. It's not my AC because this temperature that's happening right now feels like Michigan, so I don't need my AC. But down here, they run their air conditioners a lot. I'm not used to it. And it freaks people out when I tell them I haven't turned it on yet. It even freaked people out when I told them I haven't turned on the heat. I don't know. They're like, what's wrong with you? It's cold. I'm like, I'm from Michigan. Like, what? like bitch, is not cold. Like, you know what I mean? But, so yeah, that's the lovely little sound that just kicked on. But enough of the squirrel moments. I'm interested to know which card piqued your interest. And if you're interested in taking the 8 Limbs of Yoga course, that will also be 50% off come April 23rd. And understand that you can book something on April 23rd for that price, but book it for a later date. It's just you have to pay for it on that date, just so you guys know. And that also includes the Walking Home Barefoot program, all of my package deals. Everything will be 50% off, just so you guys know. And April 23rd, we'll be going live once a week. And I hope you guys show up. And I hope you guys stay hydrated, that you eat good, you feel good, and you just have the best week ever, right? And I wish you all the brightest of blessings. Bye.